Hello and welcome to the One Stop Co-op Shop stream, your one stop for co-op news and playthroughs. And tonight I'm playing through Marvel Champions. It's Friday night. I'm so excited. Now, don't get too excited yourself. This is not live. This is pre-recorded, but it is going up at the same time we normally do our live plays on Friday night. Unfortunately, I'm out of town. I'm on vacation, but hopefully you enjoyed this live play anyway. I'm going to try to keep it as live as I can, although of course there won't be the interaction with the audience like there normally is. But I've been having so much fun with Cyclops. It's funny because he's not even one of my necessarily favorite characters, but I'm having so much fun playing this deck. You see me play it on the stream. I'm playing it against the campaign, but I know some people don't want to see the new Mutant Genesis campaign, don't want to get spoiled or whatever, so I am taking it up against an old favorite in the Collector, just to see what happens here, and who knows, if I get done early enough, maybe I even play a second game with this. But for those of you who don't know Cyclops, I did build this leadership deck it's a justice deck that's basically meant to stay down as much as possible. So there's a lot of justice events that'll let you thwart or do things while you're face down. But let's see. You may include X-Men allies from any aspect. So that's the big thing about Cyclops, is he can get all the X-Men allies, and this is definitely an ally-heavy deck, which is also the reason I thought it'd be fun to take up against the Collector, because, yeah, Collector is very anti-ally for sure, because, you know, if you don't know Collector, basically he has this collection. We'll talk about that in a minute. Let me talk about Cyclops first, but on this side, he can search his deck for a tactic upgrade. Those are things he attaches to minions and enemies. And add it to your hand. Oh, those are going to leave play too, so those are not necessarily good, because those, I believe, will get added to the collection as well. Yeah, so yeah, there's a lot of bad stuff here, actually, the more I think about it. So it'll be even more interesting to try to play this deck. So we have Cyclops, Optic Blast, spend one resource of any type to deal 3 damage to an enemy with an upgrade attached to it. So, again, we're going to have to see if we want to attach upgrades because of this collection thing. I didn't even think about this. Wow, this is going to be harder than I thought it was going to be. But let's see how this goes. Well, let's first start. Create the collection. See the game. So basically, we're going to add the top card of our deck to the collection. So let's start with that. And it's the X-Jet. So there are a few changes. There's literally only 2 changes I made from the deck I'm normally playing to deal with to make it more of a solo deck. One is I put the X-Jet in there. That doesn't make it a solo deck, because actually all the X-Men love the X-Jet, but one person on our team already had it. I think Mary has it, so I replaced my Quinn carrier with X-Jet. And then the other one is I replaced I think Wolverine's one of the best allies in the game, so I wanted him in my deck. But because I was playing with 2 aggression players, I didn't add him. So I did put Wolverine in my deck. I replaced Professor X with that. Well, let's get started. Alright, so hero action. Choose to either exhaust your hero or spend 2 resources of any type to discard a card from the collection to its owner's discard pile. If there's ever 5 per player here, you lose the game. Also, 10 threat. If you ever reach your 10 threat, the players also lose the game. So there's that. When revealed, in player order, each player must choose to either put the top card of their deck face up in the collection or take 3 damage. Well, since I'm going to be down a lot this game, I'll take the 3 damage. That's my goal anyway. We'll see. Force interrupt. When a card would be placed into the discard pile from play, put it face up in the collection instead. So yeah, my tactics cards. Yeah, this is going to be interesting. Alright, well, let's see. I got my 6 heart. Ooh. At least I got my Visor on turn 1 and Cerebro turn 1. And Crew Quarters, excuse me. Also Tactical Brilliance. Wow. Counterintelligence also to prevent threat from being added. Well, I'm not going to worry about that turn 1. I would love to get all 3 of these cards out. So hopefully I draw some resources to be able to do that. Nope, no double resources. Exhaust X-Mansion to heal a damage for a mutant or X-Men. So that's just better than Crew Quarters, because I can do it to my allies as well. So again, playing against Collector, I'm going to want to try to keep my allies in play. Another counterintelligence, and attached enemy gets -1 attack, which would also let me use my Visor. So let's see, but the first thing I can do is search for a tactic or upgrade, so I am going to do that. Let's go ahead and search, and I like, at least at the beginning of the game, getting the one that costs me 1 resource that makes him vulnerable to attacks, because I'm probably not going to play that on my first turn through the game. Depends. If there are minions out here, then I definitely like the one that lets me draw 2 cards. But I'm probably not going to be trying to kill him this early in the game. You never know. Alright, but let's start putting stuff in. So I'm going to use this and counterintelligence to put the X mansion in. I'm going to spend... I guess crew quarters is just better right now because I just need the healing myself. So 1 for crew quarters. -1 attack on turn 1 seems good. But no, I'm going to do this. I'm going to spend 1 to put Cerebro in, which lets me search the top 5 cards on my deck for an ally. And that may change what I do. So let's go ahead and do that. We'll search for an ally. 1, 2, 3. There's Storm. 4, 5. Okay, so I do have Storm. I can add her to my hand. I'm going to go ahead and do that. That's just another resource for me. Yep, so I'm going to go ahead and spend Storm. And I'm going to spend the X Mansion to put my Visor in. Visor's pretty stinking cool. Exhaust this card to generate a lightning resource for your Optic Blast ability. So what that is spend any resource to deal 3 damage to an enemy with an upgrade attached. Now I would have to put Practice Defense on for them to have an upgrade. So we'll see, because I kind of want my X-Jet back. And Threat is not an issue, but it's not making me happy. And I did discard my 2 thwarting cards a second ago. But before I do flip up, I'm going to go ahead and crew quarters to heal 1 back up. Then I am going to flip over. Alright, I'm going to Cyclops to get my X-Jet back in my discard pile. I'm going to put this on because I'm an idiot. Practice Defense. So that is going to be -1 to his attack. And since I'm doing that, I'm going to go ahead and use my Ruby Quartz Visor to activate and deal 3 damage. Boom, boom, boom. Let's do it. Why not? I got a plan. Everybody's got a plan until they get punched in the face. Alright, let's draw some cards. More Practice Defense. Oh, I do have Tactical Brilliance, so that'll help with that threat. And then this is a nice card, which also keep my allies alive. This is a deck that's meant to keep your allies alive. It's a hero action. Choose an ally with a training upgrade on them. And neither of these lets me put the training upgrades on, but I do have a card here that lets me put for free training upgrades, like this one, which is +1 thwart and +2 hit points as well to an ally. So this lets me heal them and ready that ally. So that's kind of neat. You can either use it to keep them alive and or to use them twice in a turn, both of which are really good. Alright, we got plenty of resources, so maybe when I flip down, Cerebro will help me out here. But we're not flipping down yet, so let's add 1 threat to the main scheme. Then we are going to have Collector attack us for 1 plus a boost. I'm just going to take that. That 1 is nothing, so literally 1 damage from Collector, and then we will take my card and see what happens. 1 revealed, you're confused. If you're already confused, take a damage. Well, that is a thing. The reason that's so bad is because I do want to flip down a lot with this deck. I have a lot of cards that actually I don't know that I have a lot of cards that thwart and stuff. I think Tactical Brilliance, which is a card in my hand, definitely thwarts. So that makes me a little sad. And I could choose a tactic in my discard pile and add it to my hand. Yeah. Alright, well, no tactics are going to be in my discard pile because this one's going into the collection. At the end of the collector's turn, this is also going to go into the collection if I decide to defeat it. So there's that. Alright. So I don't necessarily want to defeat this, but I also don't want to have 5 threat on the scheme either. So I'm going to go ahead and thwart to get rid of this confused, and I am going to spend my 2 energy and my Tactical Brilliance to remove 3 threat from a scheme. So 1, 2, 3. That makes it in a lot safer spot, although Collector does scheme for 3, which is not happy times. I'm going to gamble a little here and hope I get a... So it seems so stupid to flip down because we're adding 5 threat out of the 10. I mean, I could literally lose this turn if I flip down. The other option is I could Optic Blast. No, I'm gonna pray to get an ally and pray I don't get just awful luck here. So let's go ahead and Cerebro, look at the top 5 cards. Oh, there you go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, what am I going to have resources to pay for? And I'd love to put this mission training on them as well. So Angel's going to cost me 2, and Phoenix is going to cost me 3. After Phoenix enters play, choose Cyclops card in your discard pile and add it to your hand. So that'll let me get out. So if I use all 3 of my resources, the problem is then I can't put mission training on her. Oh, yes I can, because, yeah. So I think I'm going to take Phoenix. I still have not grabbed a card yet, so I'm going to grab the A Tactics card. So let's go ahead and search for a Tactics card that I can now add to my hand to help me pay for Phoenix. Full Blast is awesome, but not paying for Phoenix. Exploit Weakness. Yeah, we'll take the other Exploit Weakness out. Okay, so I'm going to pay Exploit Weakness. I'm going to play Game Time, and I'm going to play Practice Defense to put Phoenix into play. Now the interesting part is now I can use this to, it doesn't matter, I'm going to I'll go ahead and draw Practice Defense because I can grab any Cyclops card in my discard pile. And then I'm going to use this to pay for mission training on her. So again, it's a 1 cost upgrade to any X-Men ally. Attached to ally gets +1 thwart and +2 hit points, which seems good. Alright, so that means she has 4 thwart and which I guess I don't even need 4 thwart. Yeah, it's a little bit of a waste, but you know what? It's certainly, well, I mean, it means I definitely can't lose without an advance this turn. So there's that. I mean, she could just put 2 damage here, and I could gamble. Well, let me go ahead and crew quarters to heal myself. What do I want to do? You know what? We'll gamble. I can set it up again. This might be one of the quicker games on the stream. Alright, so she does have to take consequential damage for that, but let's go ahead and do that. Now we are going to ready up. We are going to draw up. We get 6 cards now. Did I shuffle these? Yes, I believe I did. You know what? I'll put them back in shuffle again anyway, because I remember Angel was one of the cards, but Beast wasn't. So yeah, no, I definitely shuffled. Let's stick with that hand. Oh, Full Blast was definitely near the bottom. I remember that. But having it now makes me kind of happy, although I need an upgrade, which I will get in 2 seconds. Oh, but then that upgrade's going to go there too. Oh man, this is a little bit brutal with the collection. All right, well. Oh, and I forgot I was adding 1 at the beginning of the turn too. Oh. Well, this could be a very quick game. Alright, scheming for 3 plus another 2 is 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And 2 more. Yep, that would lose me the game. So, mistakes were made, but I am just going to retcon it just a little bit. I will take that 2 damage off and pretend instead that I had thwarted for those 2. So, now we're in the same spot, because those 2 wouldn't get added, just so we don't have to do a super short game. But yeah, that was a mistake from the beginning. I totally forgot about the 1. So I mean, literally anything but a 0 or a 1 would have lost us that game. So technically I've lost already, but instead of making you watch again from the beginning, I'm going to pretend that I wasn't stupid and I had thwarted instead, which means, again, no damage over here. Okay, so that was the scheme. Now we're going to go ahead and do this. Alright, attached to your identity. Your attached character gets minus to all your stats. Hero action, spend 2 mental resources and take a damage and discard this card. So got to be on hero side. Where do I put this to remind myself? We'll put it down here. I'll even make it smaller. Badink. So it fits right under my character, so I kind of remember that I have it there. The nice part is this one, oh no, it doesn't go to the collection. So, how about that? To get rid of it, I also have to deal with the consequences of that. Alrighty, well, after all my cheating McCheaterson, let's go ahead and heal myself up. Let's Cerebro to look at the top 5 cards. More to just get more cards in my hand. Oh, although Wolverine is super good, he's very expensive. Alright, I don't want Wolverine yet. Marvel Girl, will I want her? Or we want Polaris? After Polaris enters play, give an X-Men character tough, which seems good against Collector, or Marvel Girl. Marvel Girl attacks a minion move threat. Alright, I think I want Polaris less, so we will shuffle that in there and see what happens. Alright. Now I get to search my deck. Search, and I'm looking for a very specific upgrade, which is Priority Target, which is already out, but let's get another one. Field Commander's not an upgrade. There's the other Priority Target, but you know what? Maybe I just use another one because I'm just using it as a resource anyway. Well, guess what? I don't have a choice. Priority Target it is. Alright. I am going to put Priority Target on the Ghost, which says when attached enemy is defeated, the player who defeated it draws 2 cards. Seems good. While I am on this side, I've done everything that I think I need to do on this side, so let's go ahead and flip over, and then we're going to make some choices after, because we've got 8 threat here that we got to deal with, although 4 of it can get removed by Phoenix, which feels good. But Full Blast is really what we're doing here. When you would use your Optic Blast ability, exhaust Cyclops, this attack deals +8, or you know, I've never read exhaust Cyclops before, so that makes this card a little bit worse. Interesting. I've never done that. I've literally cheated every time I've used this card. I'm realizing that now. You have to exhaust Cyclops and deal 8 additional and overkill. Now this also gives us ranged and piercing, so that's interesting. Huh. Good to know. Alright, I thought Full Blast was too good. It's still kind of too good, but there is more of a penalty than I realized. What's Beast? After Beast enters play, search your deck and discard pile for a resource card and add it to your hand. Which is pretty good because while costing 4, you can get a double resource most times. I mean, every time, as long as you have one in your deck. And yeah, you get to get that card right back in your hand. So really only costs 2, kind of, but not really. So we'll see. So now I've got things that, like counterintelligence, you know, I probably should have just not flipped down last turn, would have been the smarter move, and just dealt with the consequences. I got a little scared with this Ghost here. Plus, you know, all my cards are set up for me to be face down. But anyway, alright, so let's look. We are going to use our Ruby Quartz Visor to shoot for 3. We are then going to pay for full auto with the, well, let's do it Polaris, because Polaris is definitely the one I'm not playing. So Polaris does another 8, so it's 3 plus 8 is 11. 4 here. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We're going to get rid of this Ghost and this Priority Target, but they're both going to go here. So that means I got to spend 2 resources to get rid of these, which is something I might even think about doing. So let's go ahead and draw our 2 cards, though. We get a Game Time and a Heroic Intuition, which is +1 thwart. Well, Game Time again is awesome. Choose an ally with a training upgrade attached, which Phoenix definitely does, and ready that hero and heal a damage from it. So basically the way this works is she's going to not attack, she's going to thwart for 4. This time we're going to do the right thing and thwart. Then we get to do this. She heals 1 and readies, and then we're just going to use her again, so she'll get that consequential damage back, but we're going to remove the last 4 threat here. Alright, so now I've got some options. I had to spend Full Blast for that attack. By the way, I paid for it, but I didn't spend the Full Blast, and I've got to exhaust myself. Don't forget that, because, yeah, there's that. Let's see. So if I spend 2 for Angel and 2 for Under Surveillance, I think that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to spend 1, 2 to put Angel out. Angel's a 2-tack, 1 thwart character. And then I'm going to spend Beast. Well, so if I spend 4 for Beast instead of 2 for Angel, so I got to spend 2 more, and I could get Beast, who's a 2/2 instead, and I'm going to get that double resource right back. So I guess there's no reason not to do that. It's 1 additional thwart, which could be useful later, so yeah, I'm going to do that. So I'm going to spend, I already spent the 2, so there's 3, 4 to pay for Beast. Then I'm going to search for that double resource. Energy's fine. Let's go ahead and draw it. Because again, after Beast enters play, search your deck and discard for a resource card and add it to your hand. This is definitely a resource card. I'm going to spend that 2 to put this on the collection. So now I have up to 14 threat that I can deal with, so I won't have to be such a cheater next time. Even though Beast only has 3 health right now, I'm still going to attack. Let's get him down to 2 and put him within range of being defeated by an ally or whatever else next turn. Okay, so no more cheating. I'm not going to talk about it anymore. We don't talk about cheating, no. Oh, there's 2 double resources in Danger Room, which would allow me to put those mission trainings on my allies for free when I am down. So that's good. But I certainly won't be chumping this turn. All right, we're going to add 1 threat. We're going to get attacked for 2. I'm just going to take it to my face. Plus another 2. That would be 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we're going to take our encounter card. When revealed, hero, collector attacks you with +1 attack. If you take any amount of damage from that attack, put the top card of your deck face up into your collection. Okay. Well, there's no reason not to block this then. So attacking for 3. +2 is 4, 5. And I am in a little bit of trouble here because I have 1, 2, 3, 4 cards in the collection, which isn't great. That's 1 away from losing. But I would add 4 cards in anyway, because if I would have just taken the damage, then he would have added 1 to the collection as well. So my goal is to not put cards into the collection this turn. How about that? Because if I had lost Phoenix there, she would have lost her mission training upgrade as well, which would have been 2 cards going to the collection. I think it's limit once per turn pulling cards out of the collection. Let's limit once per round per player. Yeah, it is. So the question is, I mean, I got plenty of resources. So let's go ahead and do this. I'm going to pay a double resource to put Danger Room in. But see, I've got all these resources that I just literally have nothing to do with at this point. I could get rid of this, so I'm going to do this. I'm going to spend 1, 2 resources to remove a card from the collection. Let's do priority target or practice defense. Let's do practice defense. So we remove that. Spending the 2 resources. I am then going to have Phoenix attack. Now she's not defeated because she has +2 hit points, even though she only has 3 printed hit points. But let's see what happens when we advance. I think I put a card. Each player puts the top card of their deck into the collection. So there's that. There goes Ricochet Beam. There's a lot of stuff going on over here. I'm not going to lose to threat this turn, even though he's a 4 scheme, which is a lot. When revealed, put the top card of each player's deck face down in the collection. Place 1 threat on the main scheme for each card in the collection. Oh, never mind. Remember how I said I wasn't going to lose to threat? Well, it's not looking as good now. Force interrupt when a card would be placed in the discard pile. Put it face up in the collection instead. I mean, we knew this was going to be a challenging scenario, certainly for a leadership hero. I'm not leadership, I am justice, but this has been interesting. All right, I'm going to go ahead and thwart for 2. And then I'm going to go ahead and flip down. I'm going to crew quarters to heal 1. Why not? Let's Cerebro and let's see what the top 5 cards are. Marvel Girl. When Marvel Girl attacks a minion, remove. Okay, but she costs 3. So there's no reason to add any of these to my hand unless I'm literally trying to cycle through my deck, which maybe I do, actually. So maybe I add Marvel Girl so I don't have to deal with her being in my deck, and I'm just going to discard her. I'm not going to shuffle these up because there's no point. Danger Room is what? Search your deck and discard pile. Okay. So I got these 2 in my hand at the end of my turn. Again, these 4 cards aren't going to matter because I'm drawing all of them, not doing anything else this turn. So I'm going to discard Marvel Girl. I'm going to draw these 4, and then I get a 6 card because I did keep my energy resource. So let's draw an extra card. Oh, what did I just do? I shouldn't have thwarted for 2. I should have only thwarted for 1. Good thing I caught that because I've already made some mistakes this game. Tactical Brilliance. That's actually fantastic. because I feel like I'm going to need some thwarting. I got game time also for that ricochet beam to do some damage if I need. So I'm actually pretty happy with where I'm at right now. Let's go ahead and add one threat. He's going to scheme, or scheme for 4 plus O. Getting rid of that advance was key there, because that advance might have killed me. If it's an advance, it's still going to not do well. Guard and patrol. That's fine. 3 health, guard, and patrol. Guess what? Wolverine will take care of that. No problem. Which makes me happy. Now, I can't afford to put... That's the negative. I cannot definitely afford to put anything out because I've got so much in the collection right now. So I can't afford to put anything on him. And in fact, I'm going to have to take one of these cards out of the collection before he goes in, or I'm in trouble here. So the nice part about Field Commander, take your turn first, which doesn't matter, but each Cyclops upgrade attached to a minion loses temporary. So if I had something that's like -1 attack, I could keep it on him. Now the problem is, again, when I do use it, it goes to the collection, and then also this one specifically, like normally that would mean he would do nothing for attacking me. The problem with this one is that he has guard and patrol, so this needs to go this turn. I don't know why I didn't ready these characters at the end of last turn, but I didn't, so I'm doing it now. Alright, so that is everything I got there, but we're going to go ahead and crew quarters to heal one. We're going to go ahead and Cerebro to look at the top 5 cards to see if there are any allies to draw. Oh, and actually she's psionic, so I get to draw any ally I want, which changes things. So Cerebro says, play only if you have the mutant trait, alter ego action. Exhaust Cerebro, search the top 5 cards of your deck for an X-Men ally. Search your whole deck instead if you are controlling a psionic character, and add it to your hand. So let's go ahead, and I'm going to search the whole deck. Now I'm probably not going to play this ally, so I don't want it to be Storm, although Storm's pretty expensive, and she's really good when there are side schemes you don't care about, but there really aren't this game. So you know what? I am going to draw Storm. And then I'm going to search. This time I'm not going to do the one that's +1 damage, exploit weakness, because it's the second time through the deck. So I'm probably going to want to use that. So I'm going to do practice defense as my upgraded draw. So I have 8 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Which is pretty darn stinking good. So let's see. Danger Room lets me, after an X-Men ally enters play, exhaust Danger Room, search your deck and discard pile for a training upgrade, and attach it to the ally. Well, we're definitely doing that. Alright, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, let's not use that. Let's use Ricochet Beam, because I'm not doing extra damage this turn. I don't think. I mean, that could be 6 damage. I mean, can I just win this turn? Not this turn. Not this turn. I'm getting there, though. I'm actually getting there. I mean, Ricochet Beam's ridiculous when you add that other, like, thing to it. The +1 damage per attack. But not yet. We're not there. Okay. So that was the 4 spent to put Wolverine in. We're going to do this and search for a training. So same mission training, +1 thwart, +2 hit points, which is part of the key. Wolverine's kind of interesting. 3 attack, has 2 stars under his attack, which means after your turn begins, he'll which means he's taking 2 consequential damage, and then responds after your turn begins, heal 1 from Wolverine. And Wolverine's attacks gain piercing. All of that is real good. So let's go ahead and flip over. I'm going to exhaust myself this time. Yes, to remove a card. Let's see what I want. I want that Ricochet Beam back. Probably should have been the one I grabbed last time instead of whatever I grabbed. I think I grabbed Storm, so which I just said I wasn't even going to use. Yeah, Ricochet Beam would have been a smarter call. I wasn't quite thinking. Alright, but the reason I needed to do that is I'm attacking with Wolverine. He takes his 2 consequential damage. Now again, he has 6 hit points, which is nice, but that does get rid of this sentry over here. Now, for myself, I am going to Yeah, there's a lot of threat there. So let's go ahead and Tactical Brilliance. So I'm going to spend 1, 2 to pay for Tactical Brilliance, which removes 3 threat and lets me grab a tactic. So 1, 2, 3, and then I search my discard pile for a tactic, which I don't have any. I don't believe I can use the cards I paid for this. I mean, maybe I can, but I won't. That's fine. I don't need the extra card anyway. I would just end up discarding at the end of my turn probably. So we'll just say I can't do that. But that's a good question for the forum. If you know the answer, please let me know. All right, so I am going to thwart for 4 over here. That puts her at 4 damage. Now remember, she has 2 more, so 1 more damage to her and she is dead. But 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm okay with that threat where it is. So what I'm going to do is choose an ally with a training. I'm going to choose Wolverine. I'm going to heal 1. And then I'm going to have him attack. So he attacks for 2. He's up to 3 damage. But he also does 3 damage to the Collector over here. And that's honestly the goal, is killing the Collector. Oh. When he's dead, he goes here. So that's our 4th card in the collection, which is, yeah, that's a thing. That's definitely a thing. All right, let's go ahead and draw up. And all right, we got energy, practice defense. I mean, if I really need a killing blow, we do have some counterintelligence, which will let me flip down mission training, which I don't care about because I have danger room. So if I am, yeah. So again, this is my priority now, is making sure I don't lose to threat. All right, so, or not threat, lose the collection. So we're gonna add 1 here. I am just going to take this attack because I can't chump, because if I do, then I could lose the game. So 3 attack plus 1. After this activation ends, reveal this card. Alright, so let's go ahead and 3 plus 1 more is 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Getting low here. Force interrupt. When Collector would take any amount of damage, put this card face up into the collection. Prevent all of that damage, then place threat on the main scheme equal to the amount prevented this way. Well, that's lovely. And I don't even have an attack right now because of this. So this is going to prevent all damage. It's going to put a card in the collection, which means I got to take 1 out first. Oh, there's lots of stuff going on here, all of which I don't, and it adds threat, which is wonderful. Yeah, so there's that. Okay. And I don't have the thing that let me heal any X-Men, because I could just heal Phoenix here if I did, but I don't have that card either. So that means Phoenix isn't getting used this turn. But I still have 1 more card to look at, and that's this. Discard an upgrade or support you control. If no cards are discarded this way, well, that's another loss. So it doesn't matter what upgrade or support I choose. I can get rid of Danger Room, but again, when it leaves play, it goes right into the collection. Yep, so I lost 2 ways in this scenario with this deck. So let's take a different look at this. I'm going to be right back in 1 second. And I'm going to use my spider deck on this Collector again. So we're just trying to take down the Collector today. That's the goal of the day. So I'll be right back. Alright, so I am back, and I looked through my spider decks, and honestly none of them were really ideal for playing against the Collector. This is my Justice deck, which is probably the closest, but there are 2 cards in there that are not ideal. One of them being Counterintelligence, which I thought about last game. It prevents 3 threat, yes, which is great. You can do it Alter Ego, which is great. The problem is it goes to the collection, which we saw was a problem the entire game last game. So that could be an issue with Counterintelligence. The other one I have is Sonic Rifle, which is a great item. It confuses up to twice, but again, you have to discard it when you are done using it. So I might just have to thin my deck. But for those of you who haven't seen much Spider play, I'll go over it. Spider is actually 2 cards. One is the Spider Suit, which ends up being their hero card, and so this is unique in the fact that it has a different Alter Ego card than it does hero card, and they do different things, but basically they flip at the same time is the only thing you need to know, and all tokens stay on them. So it's permanent. So the big thing is alter ego action. You can exhaust the spider suit over here to draw 2 cards. So I can exhaust this, draw 2 cards. When I flip over, now I can't attack or anything. The nice part though is I can recover with her and draw the 2 cards as well. So that's kind of a fun little combination. They're independent of each other. Or if I don't use her to recover, now she's a upgrade over here, a interface upgrade, which you'll see over here. The special text is resource. Exhaust an interface upgrade you control to generate that resource. So she's a wild resource if I don't use her to recover. So it's kind of a fun combination. I honestly, she's become one of my favorite heroes, if not my favorite. Cyclops is getting up there too. Both of them obviously don't like fighting Collector. Well, we'll see. We'll see how she likes it. By the way, I do have to put a card into the collection to start with. Let's just see. Oh, Under Surveillance. Right there from turn 1. Under Surveillance, not a terrible card to have in this scenario, but it is a terrible card to be in the collection, which is great. Love it. All right, so let's see. She has a 6-card hand size. Oh, it's over here on this side. Oh, wait a minute. What? Oh, she only has a 4-card hand size. I am sorry. On this side, when she flips over, she only has a 3-card hand size. But again, she's getting free resources. So, yeah. So let's start with the 4-card hand size and see what we get. So right away, we have an upgrade. When Spider Suit makes a basic attack, she gets +2 to her attack, which seems really good. We also have an ally here, Hobie Brown, Spider-Man. We got a lot of Spider-Man cards in here. Play only if you have Web Warrior card. Interrupt. When Spider-Man leaves play, discard up to 3 cards from the encounter deck and deal damage. Well, we don't want any of our allies to leave play. So, and 2 Thwart with 2 consequential. While 2 Thwart is good, 2 consequential is not. I'm going to go ahead and discard these 2. Let's think about Avengers Mansion. I'll keep it because I'm going to have some extra resources this turn. So let's go ahead and keep it, and hopefully that doesn't come back to bite us. Come on, double resource. No. Deal 5 damage to an enemy. If you paid for this card using a resource generated from your spider suit, sync ratio ability, stun the enemy. Well, that seems real good. There's also concussive blow, which lets you confuse an enemy. If you paid for this using a fist, deal 3 damage as well. So both of those are good. Mansion's not going to get played this turn, it looks like, but I am going to go ahead and exhaust because of this alter ego maintenance to draw 2 cards. Come on, double resource. Oh man, all systems go, which is a great one. So it's ready each interface upgrade you control. So those are these things. You get to ready them and potentially use them again, and search your deck and discard pile for an interface upgrade and add it to your hand, then you shuffle. For Justice lets me remove some threat too, which is actually not terrible this turn. But let's go ahead and flip up and see what we're going to pay for first. Let's go ahead and use that mansion because I'm definitely not going to be using it, and we'll use our character here to pay for Field Commander, which again gives me +2 attack, but it's also a resource if I want that. Should I search for using all systems go for an upgrade? If I get a 1-cost upgrade with that, which is the defense one, yeah, I mean, that just lets me set up for the rest of the game. All right, so we're going to all systems go, ready, no, to search your deck and discard pile for an interface upgrade and add it to your hand. So I'm going to do that. We'll go ahead and search for a 1-cost Spider Command. Is that what it is? Exhaust Spider to draw a card. Hero action, exhaust Spider Command. Wait, what is this? Oh, this is a location. Never mind. That's not an upgrade. I forgot about that card. I haven't seen that one in a while. I haven't played Spider in a long time, so I apologize if I mess anything up. The +2 Thwart one's nice, but it costs 2. And you'll see why I don't want to do this. So Speed Metal Alloy is the one I'm going to get. Unfortunately, that card was near the top. Hopefully it doesn't go too far down because that 3-card hand size is really a little bit brutal. All right, so we're going to pay for Justice to put in Speed Metal Alloy, which now gives me 2 things. So I can deal 5 damage to an enemy and stun that enemy. So let's do that. We're going to spend these 2 to do 5 damage and stun, which seems like a good start to the game. Not getting attacked turn 1, I do have 4 threat here, and under surveillance is in the collection. Maybe I'll put the collection off to the side here. So that's not great, but whatever. And we'll just track it here. 1 card in the collection. There we go. Alright, so let's go ahead and ready up and draw up. Unfortunately, you only draw 3 cards. That's the big negative of Spider. Ooh, Venom. +1 thwart and +1 attack for each sim counter on her. After Venom enters play, place 1 sim counter on her for each resource using the Spider Suit ability. So I could give her +3 right now. There's only 1 more upgrade I think I have. So if I pay 3 out of the 4 using, I mean, I can only use 4 anyway. Seems pretty good. 3 counters makes her a 4/4. Yeah, the problem is I can't heal her or anything else, so there is that. So after a Lady Spider thwarts and removes threat from a scheme, if you control another Web Warrior card, remove an equal amount of threat from a different scheme. Alright, that would be awesome, although she only thwarts for 2 in certain situations. This is not one of them. So we'll see. So we did not. We're going to add 1 threat to the scheme. Then the collector is going to try to attack me right now, but they are stunned. So they don't get to attack me. So they just give me a crappy, oh my gosh, Monarch Star Stalker Villainous, which means they get boost cards. So that's not great. So, yeah. So do I have the attack one? I do. So I can attack for 4, and as long as I can get Eddie Brock to 3, which if I spend these 2, okay. So that's what I'm going to do. This is not an ideal Venom play, but it's what I almost have to do. So I'm going to spend these 2 resources, and then these 2 resources to pay for Venom. So that is a total of 4. 2 of those, she gets 2 sim counters, because 2 of those resources came from these parts over here. So she's a 3/3, and I am going to attack using this modular upgrade here to give me +2 to my attack, so that makes me 4 attack. So that's 4 over here, 3 more from Venom, and that is a dead, another dead, we'll track it down here, card, which is also another card in the collection, which is great, but guess what? This one's never coming out of the collection. I don't care. If I have to lose because that stupid villainous thing's in the collection, I'm okay with that. Yeah, so this is not, I mean, look, I'm not complaining. I got 3 upgrades out already. I got Venom. I'm not totally complaining, but I'm also not in a great spot. Although 14 health is going to help me survive a little bit here. So let's go ahead and draw our 3-card hand again. Aunt May and Uncle Ben. Action, exhaust Aunt May and Uncle Ben, and discard the top 2 cards of your deck. Top 3 cards instead if you're an alter ego. Add each Spider card discarded this way in your hand. This is one of the best cards in Spider's set. It basically lets you go through your deck faster. And get those Spider-specific cards. We all know that those cards are the best cards in the game, are the cards that are in your aspect, so that makes it awesome. So we got this Spider-Man. You got to spend 1 of each resource. After Spider-Man attacks or thwarts, choose another Web Warrior character and ready that character. Super good. Very expensive because it costs 1 of each. Web of Life and Destiny. After a Web Warrior ally leaves play, choose a player. That player draws a card. So that's good. And it is free. Ignore this cost if you have the Web Warrior trait, which I do. That would make that card free. The only negative is that I don't really want to be losing characters this turn, so what I might do is put Spider-Man into play using my 3 resources, because I got a wild, an energy, and a I think that's physical. Yeah, physical. I always call it fist and lightning bolt, but it's physical, energy, and wild. So I could pay for Spider-Man, and Aunt May and Uncle Ben's just too good to pass up. So I think I will pay for that using using my Web of Life and Destiny. Although I guess theoretically I could just pay for Aunt May and Uncle Ben using this and then see if I draw any cards. So yeah, that might be the right move. Alright, anyway, we're adding 1 more threat, which is not great because that's up to 6 now. Advance looking real bad. We're going to get attacked for 2 plus another 2. That's 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we're going to draw our encounter card, which is this Guard Patroller. And this collection looking worse and worse by the minute. How do I remove a card? Is it just spend 2 resources? Okay, and I can do anything to do that. All right. So I think I'm going to do this. I'm going to spend my fluid web compressor here to put Aunt May and Uncle Ben in. I'm going to discard the top 2 cards of my deck. So I get an all systems go, which is fantastic, by the way. Yes, please, and thank you. So +2 defense, +2 attack. Neither of those are really the ones I want. So the question is, do I now search for the upgrade I want with this? Because that's my thwarting one. If I do, then I'm not putting in Spider-Man is the problem. No, I'm going to go with the original plan. All right, so I am going to spend these 2 resources to remove a card from the collection. Then I'm going to pay for all systems go, which lets me do ready each interface upgrade you control. I'm not going to ready them because I'm just going to spend them again to put this Spider-Man in. And as a reminder, Spider-Man, after Spider-Man attacks or thwarts, choose another Web Warrior and ready that character. Super duper good. Alright, we need to deal with this. Well, we've got Venom here to deal with that. So Venom does 3 damage there. This one goes to the collection, so I still have 2 cards in the collection. Now, I am going to thwart for 2. Do I want to flip down this turn? I mean, that's a lot of threat getting added, but it's an extra card draw plus an extra card in Aunt May and Uncle Ben. I may flip down this turn. So yeah, if I'm going to do that, I'm going to go ahead and thwart again, which readies me, and I'll thwart again. So that's 1-2 from that thwart and 1-2 from that other thwart. Alright, so threats at 0. And unless I get an unlucky advance here, I should be alright. Oh, and I'm flipping to Alter Ego. Okay, so with all that being said, I get to draw 4 cards. Woohoo! Alright, a couple for Justice, which is good. Psychic Link, which is my plus thwart one, which is really good. Sonic Rifle let me flip down a lot more easily, so I like all of those things. Alright, so first things first, we're going to add a threat here. Then Collector is going to scheme for, just the 3, which is not terrible. And then I get a card. When revealed, choose one. Put the highest cost card from your hand face up into the collection, or discard the highest cost card from your hand, then place threat on the main scheme. Alright, so do I put this in the collection or add 3 threat to the main scheme? I'm going to be able to thwart for 4, and then theoretically I'm going to be able to thwart for 4 twice next turn. I don't want to put cards in the collection, so I'm going to just discard it and put 3 threat on the main scheme. Collector really puts some pressure on you in interesting ways. I mean, it's really a good, really good scenario. I mean, I don't want to take either of these out of the collection, so maybe I just use Venom here and get him in the collection to just take out this turn, because I do want to take cards out of the collection, obviously, but we'll see. We'll see. All right. So first things first, I'm going to discard 3. 1. So that is a card. 2. No. 3. Crisis Averted would have been nice. So discard Ejection Protocol to exhaust each interface upgrade you control. Set your initial hit point dial to 6. Give your identity a tough status card and flip to Alter Ego. All that seems good, but one of the better things is I do get it out of my deck, which is kind of nice also. Do I draw 2 cards? I feel like I do, because the collection is an issue, although if I do that, then that 7 threat becomes an issue, although Spider-Man can help me with that. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and exhaust to draw 2 cards. See, that's what I love about Spider. She just has so many interesting choices. Like right here, do I recover 4, or do I use this as a wild resource, which is both of which are great. Alright, I'm going to be able to afford Justice for that for now. Rapid Deploy. Remove 3 threat from a scheme. If you paid for this card using a resource using the Spider Suit, remove 3 threat from a scheme. So that's 6 right there. Okay, so I don't need these resources this turn is what that's telling me. So I'm going to go ahead and pay 1, 2 to put this Psychic Link out. Yeah, because Rapid Deploy, I mean, is going to let me remove 6. A resource generated. Just 1 has to be from that. And I have 4 Justice also, and there's no side schemes. So, I mean, that's an interesting decision too, right? I mean, I clearly should get rid of one of these things. The problem with this one is, if he comes up at the end of the game, that's really annoying. That makes me sad. We'll see. Actually, hold on. Before I decide, I should not have done my +2 attack one. I should have done... oh, I can't. Wait, what am I doing? I'm not on the right side for this. So, I just cheated all over the place. Cheaty McCheaterson. So, hold on. What did I do? Oh, I paid for this. Okay, so hold on. First things first, I've got to decide. So, hold on. All this is my hand. I drew 2 cards to do what? Did I forget to draw 2 cards when I exhausted this? There's no way, right? I had 4 and I got Psychic Link. No, I got this. Ejection Protocol. Okay. I don't know what my other card was. I feel like I'm a card down because I should have had 4. It's fine. Whatever. Alright, so I can't do any of that stuff from this side anyway, so the question is, do I heal? Yeah, this isn't exhausted. Oh, it is exhausted because I drew 2 cards. I definitely drew 2 cards. I definitely had this. So what was my 4th card? Because I had 4 Justice. I don't know. Anyway, I feel like I'm a card short right now, but that's fine. Is what it is. Okay, I am going to heal. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now let's go ahead and flip over. I am going to pay one of my 4 Justices and my defense 1 to give myself +2 thwart card here. Then I'm going to Rapid Deploy, paying 1, 2 to Rapid Deploy. Oh, wait. Yeah, I want my plus attack. That's right. To remove 3 from a scheme and then 3 from a scheme again. Alright, so that's 6 from the main. I guess none of that mattered because I'll probably use these two. Yeah, I'm going to. 1, 2 to get a card out of the collection. Let's go ahead and get that one out. Yes. And then do I put Venom in the collection? Oh, no. That's not what I'm doing. Let's get those 2 back. This is my attack one. Not that it matters. But I'm going to attack with Venom. So Venom attacks for 3. 1, 2, 3. Then goes into the collection. Then I'm going to pay those 2 resources to take Venom out of the collection and put him in my discard pile. That's what I wanted to do. So I'm not going to use Spider-Man this turn because I don't think it's worth the extra stuff. Alright, so I'm just going to call it good. I'm going to ready up and draw up. I draw my 3 cards. That's at all systems go. And 5 damage, yes please. Crisis averted also to remove a ton of threat if I need to. All that seems good. Alright, so we're adding 1 threat there. Then he's going to attack me. Do I defend this? I think I do. So I'm going to go ahead and, well, ready each interface upgrade, but that's not myself. So if I defend, I'll just take it. I'm at 14 life. Alright, so 2 attack plus another, deal 1 damage to each character you control. Well, that's not great. So that's 1, 2, and then 1 extra. Alright, and then, Star Shark do 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 do. Star Shark do 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 do. So that's 3 more from Star Shark because of Quick Strike. Yeah, 3 damage a turn extra doesn't make me real happy. So I got that going for me. Alright, let's go ahead and use Aunt May and Uncle Ben to discard. That does come to my hand, and that one does not. Host Spider. Exhaust Host Spider to ready your suit. Oh, I forgot about this one. Yeah, that's good. With all systems go. Yep. Alright, so 1, 2, 3. Two. We'll do this one. 1, 2, 3 to put this in, which lets me ready myself. I'm going to go ahead and attack for 2. 3, 4. We'll do it on the shark, I guess. Seems like a terrible idea. Then I'll ready myself and attack for 2 more on the shark, putting it up to 6. Spider-Man's just going to sit here. Spider-Man's ability does not work anymore, because basically after he attacks and thwarts, he's going to get defeated. Well, wait a minute. After Spider-Man attacks or thwarts and ready. So actually, the last thing that happens at the end of the turn is the defeating of Spider-Man. So this is another one I'm not sure the timing on. After Spider-Man attacks or thwarts. I guess it's after the whole action. So after the action, they take the consequential damage. They'll be dead. So I don't think he's going to do that, which makes me a little sad. All right. So I'm going to all systems go. So I'll pay my crisis averted to all systems go, which basically says ready each interface upgrade you control. Yes, please, and thank you. Yep. 5 free resources again, or 5 things to do. One of which is to ready myself, which seems good. Then I'm going to web trap, deal 5 damage to an enemy if you paid for this using a resource. So clearly I'm going to use a resource from here. 1 resource, 2 resources, and we'll pay for this, which is 5 damage and stunned. Stunned makes me happy, especially when I'm probably going to advance the collector here in 2 seconds. So I do have 2 free resources, which I'll probably use to get Spider-Man back. So I think this is what I'm going to do. Again, I hate... Oh, that's going to be a 3rd card in the collection. It's getting awful dangerous. All right, we're going to defeat this. Put Star Shark back in the collection. Yeah, I'm not going to use Spider-Man this turn. I'm going to go ahead and use these cards to put Servant back in. So there's still 2 cards in the collection. I just need to keep that low. I was going to attack with Spider-Man and then get Spider-Man back, but feels too dangerous right now. Alright, so we will ready up. Oh, do I want to flip down this on 2? No, I don't. I got plenty of defensive stuff. I'm not too worried about it. I'm ready up. I'm going to draw my 3 cards. Yay. Cross the Spider-Verse, exhaust a Web Warrior card you control, search your discard pile for a web card ally and put it into play, then choose a player. That player may spend 3 resources of any type to repeat this ability. So exhaust a Web Warrior card you control, search a discard pile for a Web Warrior ally and put it into play. And then if I spent 3, then choose a player, spend 3 more to do it. So I could get 2 allies here for 5 resources, which is a lot. Remove 3 threat and remove 3 more. That's pretty good. All right, well, we'll see, because that seems real good. All right, first thing, we're going to add 1 threat. Then we're going to get attacked. Oh, no, we're not. You're stunned. Oh, I almost flipped down, totally forgetting you were stunned. Well, collector, I got your number, although I don't, because you got my number, stupid servant bot again, which is not great. Don't love that. Garden Patrol. All right, so let's see what we want to do here. Back to my turn. First things first, I'm going to punch, +2 attack. Servant bot goes to the collection. That's a 3rd card in the collection. Then, which Web Warriors do I have here? Do I have any with like a lot of life? Don't love Hobie Brown because he dies too easily. Ooh, Lady Spider here. She has 4 life, but she's 2 consequential damage for whatever. She can remove from 2 things, but that's not wonderful or what I need anyway. So both our thwarting are going to take 2 consequential damage. Venom is not a web warrior, unfortunately. Ooh, 2 costs. If you control a web warrior card after you play after you play Spider-Man from your hand, ready an upgrade you control. The upgrade is a tech trait, draw a card, which is pretty darn good. It's 2 cost ally though, and it feels bad to I mean, maybe it's Hobie Brown. Discard the top 3 cards of the encounter deck. Deal damage to the villain equal to the number of boost icons on the discarded cards. Yeah. Alright. Well, let's rapid deploy before we... Oh, there's only 3 threat? I mean, that doesn't seem too bad. Let me just go ahead and ready myself, and I can remove that there. So I actually don't need to rapid deploy. So maybe I put counterintelligence in as like a super bad, oh my god, I got an advance, I'm about to lose scenario. Yeah, so I'm going to thwart for 4 myself. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright. So I'm going to across the Spider-Verse here. 1, 2. To pay for Across the Spider-Verse. Pretty sure is the bottom card. It is interrupt when Spider-Man leaves play. Now, Spider-Man refers to this card specifically. This Peter Parker Spider-Man does not count. Is when I get to do this ability. So just... Oh! I need to poke for 1 damage. Well, that seems good. Let's just do that now. I will poke for 1 damage. He will take consequential damage. Although, do I really want to do that? Do I really want to put an extra card in this turn? I don't. So I'm going to just spend 1, 2 resources to remove this from the collection, giving myself an extra turn and a little bit of breathing room before I pop the collector's next stage. Question is, do I feel good enough to flip down here? Yeah, I do want to do that. I just need more cards. Oh, I never made an Uncle Ben that turn. So before I make that decision, let's put this back here. Before I make this decision, let's Aunt May and Uncle Ben. It's only 2 cards, so that's 1, 2, and none of them were Spider-Man cards, so it didn't make any difference. So yep, I'm still going to do that. Same thing. Get rid of that. Alright, so I do think I will flip down, although when it advances, we add threat to the scheme too, which isn't great. But I don't love having such a small hand size, going through so few cards. I'm going to get an extra encounter card this turn, so odds of an advance are higher. But the odds of them attacking me are higher also, and I only have 8 hit points, although 8's not a little amount. I do have ejection protocol, which will save me from dying, so yeah, I'm going to stay up. Alright, so let's ready up and draw up. I have to take an encounter card because there's only 3 cards in my deck. Alrighty. Exhaust Spider Command and an interface upgrade to draw a card. Or if as a hero action, or exhaust Spider Command and choose and discard a card from your hand to ready an interface upgrade. So that's, again, so many strategic decisions when it comes to Spider. Alright, we're going to add 1, going to attack me for 2. I am just going to take it, put Ghost into play, engage with you. Awesome. So that's 2 here, another 2 here. When revealed, you are confused. Wonderful. And 2 damage, so 1, 2 from there, and 1, 2 from Collector up here. Now we have to deal with 2 encounter cards. Let's see what they are. Oh, if you're already confused, I take a damage. Okay. Oh, yeah, more cards for the collection. Wonderful. Crystal Ball. Actually, this has a victory, so it will not go into the collection, which is good. Although it's got an acceleration, and it's just 3 more things I gotta deal with. When defeated, the player who defeated this scheme may play a card from their hand, reducing its resource cost by 3, which is really good. So play only if you control a web warrior. When Ghost Spider leaves play, search your deck for an identity-specific event and add it to your hand. I could add some damage that way. After Spider-Man... Oh, and she is a 1/2. So some extra damage. After Spider-Man enters play, remove 1 threat from a scheme for each web warrior card you control, including Spider-Man. So that would be 4 threat removed from a scheme. I don't need... Oh! But I'm using it to pay for this. Oh, there's only 2 cards in the collection. And then this one's good. Not necessarily what I need. Alright, so I'm going to do this to get rid of my confused. Then I'm going to do this to ready myself. Then I'm going to Aunt May and Uncle Ben to look at 2 cards. Hopefully one of them... Ah, Web Trap. That's good. 5 damage to an enemy and stuns. Yes, please. And yes, thank you. I do like that. Okay. Things are looking a little up. So now I am going to thwart for 4. Once you get rid of this, it does not go to the collection. As a reminder, it goes to the victory display, which is good. And then the player who defeated this scheme may put a card from their hand, reducing its cost by 3. So I'm going to put Ghost Spider in. When Ghost Spider leaves play, but that's fine. She's got 2 attack. I like that. Which I might need this turn. Alright. There's lots of stuff on the board, which doesn't make me happy. I mean, oh no, I can't put another ally in play right now, although, who knows, maybe I get rid of the Spider-Man. But let's do, well, first things first. We're going to have you attack for your 1. No guard or patrol here. And advance the collector. Alrighty. So, when revealed, put the top card of each player's deck face up into the collection. Place 1 threat on the main scheme for each card in the collection. So, actually, before I did that, should I get rid of a card? No, that's alright. It's only a 3rd threat. I'll deal with it. Heroic Intuition. So, 1, 2, 3. And then I am going to spend 2 cards, or 2 resources. So, let's do Web Trap. We will do 1, 2 to do Web Trap. 5 damage and stun. Seems good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and stunned. Alright. Collector's only got 13 life left. Maybe I just start rushing them down. That never seems like a bad idea. Alright, I'd like to play Spider Command, but I don't know that it's worth it. I only have 1 free resource here, so I'm not going to. I'm going to do 1, 2 to take Heroic Intuition out of the collection. I just don't want to add these cards, honestly, into the discard pile, although there's still 27 cards. We've only gone through 6 somehow. Well, plus these 2 in front of me. Yeah, so I'm just going to pay for those. I'm sitting on an extra resource here, but it's fine. Everything is fine. So do I kill one of these and get the collection back up to size 3 to prevent... I mean, I'm going to die otherwise. So I guess that is the answer. I mean, unless I defend, but do I really want to defend? No, I don't. So defending reduces my damage next turn by potentially up to 4, but really only 2. So you know what? Forget it. I'm attacking. 4 damage right here. This Spider-Man goes to my discard pile. Again, I don't think I get to do it because it says after they thwart or attack. And after they thwart or attack, I think they take their consequential damage. So we're going to do 4 damage. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're just going to try to burn down the boss. I ain't got time for this. And I don't have collection space for these 2. So that's one of my considerations. I also have ejection protocol. Worst case scenario, although that really is pretty bad scenario if I have to do that. I do have 2 allies as well, although again the collection can only be so big, and so I don't want that to happen. They both only take 1 consequential, right? Okay, so let's go ahead and draw our 3 cards. I didn't deal with threat at all, but hopefully not a problem. Web Trap, boom, there's the 5 damage. Okay, so I just really need to survive this turn. Alright, so we're adding 1 threat. You are stunned. I'm going to take 2 damage from this one, and then I'm going to defend for this one. Yeah, nothing bad happens for those. Don't be in advance. Of course you're in advance. So schemes for 4 plus One more. That's it. 5. I mean, come on. So if it was literally anything else, or if that was a 0 boost right there, on my turn, I got web trap, so I ready myself. Web trap for, there you go. That's 5 damage and stunned, and then another 4 for me, plus I got 3 more here damage. Then I could still put stupid under surveillance on the main scheme. All right, so there is the collector. I mean, that's what collector does. I mean, I guess I could have schemed last turn with somebody instead of attacking. That probably would have been smart. I guess with Hobie Brown Spider-Man, or even that one thwart from Ghost Spider would have been enough. If I thwarted instead of attacking for 2, and clearly I would have had enough attack this turn to win anyway. I guess that's my lesson. Whenever you can thwart, you probably should. But yeah, so that's 2 games. So good news. Nobody had to drink anything because I didn't see a Shadows of the Past at all tonight. I mean, I guess that's one of the interesting parts about the collector's deck. You really don't go through a ton of it, especially in solo. I mean, again, we only have 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 cards out. I guess it says how short the game is also. 13. Yeah, so no Shadows of the Past, so no drinking tonight. Good news, everybody. But yeah, that was 2 games against collectors using 2 of my new favorite heroes, Spider and Cyclops. I really had a fun time. Let me know what you think about these heroes and what you think about if you've had a chance to try them yet. But anyway, thanks. I am on vacation right now, so I'm enjoying my vacation, but I will be back next week playing with Mary. We will continue our campaign, so join us next week where we will be playing some more Marvel Champions every Friday. Bye!